You are going to retire someday, and someone has to pay for that. The question is, who? The honest answer is more complicated and more worrying than most people realize, because a pension is not really a savings account. In a lot of cases, it is a promise, and promises are not always kept. Let's start with what a pension actually is. Strip away the paperwork, and a pension is simply a plan to give you an income after you stop working. You put money in, or your employer puts money in on your behalf for decades. Then, when you retire, that money comes back out to you, month after month, for the rest of your life. There are two very different ways this can work, and the difference matters enormously. The first is called a defined contribution plan. You and your employer pay into an investment account with your name on it. It grows or shrinks with the market. When you retire, you have exactly what is in that account. No more, no less. The risk sits entirely with you. The second is called a defined benefit plan, and this is the classic image of a pension. Instead of promising a pot of money, your employer promises you a specific income for life, often based on your salary and years worked. 30 years at a company might guarantee you, say, 60% of your final salary every year until you die. This sounds wonderful. It is also where the trouble starts, because a defined benefit promise is not magic. Someone has to actually have the money sitting somewhere to pay it, and that is where things get shaky. Many pension systems, especially older public ones, were never built as savings accounts at all. They were built as something closer to a relay race. Today's workers pay in. That money does not sit and grow for them. It goes straight back out, immediately, to pay today's retirees. When today's workers retire, the next generation of workers pays for them. Economists call this pay-as-you-go. It works perfectly well as long as one condition holds. There have to be enough new workers coming in behind you. And that is exactly the condition breaking down almost everywhere. People are living longer, which means pensions have to pay out for more years than anyone originally planned. And birth rates have fallen sharply in most wealthy countries, which means fewer new workers are entering the system to fund the people leaving it. Run the numbers forward, and you get a structure that looks uncomfortably like a chain letter. It works only as long as the base keeps growing. The moment the pyramid inverts, more people taking money out than putting money in, the machine runs into trouble. This gap even has a name: unfunded liability. It means a pension system has promised more money to future retirees than it currently has, or is projected to collect to actually pay them. Governments and companies have quietly built up staggering versions of this gap. Some public pension systems are trillions of dollars short of what they have promised to pay out over the coming decades. Corporate pension plans have shrunk for similar reasons, which is exactly why so many private companies have phased them out entirely in favor of the other kind, the defined contribution account, where the company can never owe more than it put in. So, what happens when a pension system cannot pay what it promised? It rarely collapses overnight. Instead, it adjusts, slowly and often painfully. Retirement ages creep upward. Required contributions rise. Promised benefits get quietly trimmed for future retirees, even while current retirees are protected. Every one of these is a way of admitting the same thing. The original promise assumed a world that no longer exists. None of this means your pension is a scam, or that it will vanish. Most systems, especially government-backed ones, have enormous political and legal pressure to keep paying. But it does mean a pension is not really a vault holding your money. It is a bet on the future. A bet on how long you will live, how many workers will exist behind you, and how generous a promise can remain once the maths around it starts to change. You are not just saving for your future. You are trusting a very long chain of other people to keep a promise none of them personally made. Now you know.